Hey, this is JD of JDS Mancave, coming at you again tonight on a big old Saturday night. We want to thank y'all for tuning in. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Reggie, can you hear me?
I can barely hear you. Let me see if I can turn my... Well, everything is up.
I think you're going to have to click all the way out, Reggie, and come back in. Huh? I can't hear him, though. If I can't hear him, then what good is he going to do? Huh?
Yeah, I can barely... Can you hear me?
So how I'm going to do a show and I can't hear my host? Just with me. Reggie, click all the way out and click back in, please. All right, thank you. But yeah, we are here today. We're still having some technical difficulties with the man cave situation. We're trying to get it situated, but I assure you, you need to tune in because this is going to be a heck of a night tonight. Some of the topics are going to touch a few feelings. I'm going to set a few minds straight. Gonna make a few people hate. It's gonna do a whole lot tonight. It ain't gonna take much either, because y'all already know that I have a passion for making people think. I want you to understand that, you know, the way you think now may be what's hindering you from what you want in life. So we're gonna talk about that, and we're gonna talk about black men and the situations that we have to face and we have to deal with, including our own women that we have to deal with. So we're definitely gonna talk about that tonight. But yeah, we're getting started once again. This is, I guess you could say, season 2 of JD's Man Cave. I have been on a hiatus during COVID situation, trying to get some things together in my life, in my own personal life, as well as with this show situation. But we're here tonight to talk about a few topics. I'm going to have my trusty co-host, Big Reggie, on with me in just a few minutes. As soon as we can get him logged back in, we'll get started. But there have been quite a few topics that I've been dealing with this week on Facebook, and my eyes have been open to some of the roots of the problems that we face as a black community. We oftentimes want to talk about things, then we don't want to talk about it, because sometimes they'll be a little touchy. And you'll find out when somebody hits a nerve that you thought was healed, you will holler. You'll start screaming, matter of fact, and crying out and crying, foul, foul, foul. You'll throw a flag before you know it, even though you said that wasn't an issue in your life. Then when it comes up, you find out it is an issue in your life. The first topic I want to talk about tonight, Reg. Hello?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Maybe.
Can you hear me?
My phone. I still can't hear. Do you know what the problem is, Denise? All right, well, this ain't gonna work with me not being able to hear him.
JD, can you hear me now?
Say again, Reggie.
Can you hear me now?
You can hear my. Yeah, my volume is turned all the way up. As loud as it'll go. Right? Come check and see. Say something, Reggie.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just not. Do I need to click out and click back in, you think?
Yeah, maybe.
Hold on, Reggie. Let me see. I ain't where you at. Hey, what's going on, Reg? You can hear me now?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you fine now, man. We have a few technical difficulties. Like I told him, this is the first episode of season 2, so we got some things we got to work out, but we're gonna get it together. I promise you that. Yeah, it's good to see you, big dog. How was your day been?
It's good to see you too. What's going down?
Oh, nothing. I know you okay. You all right now. Man, we got some stuff we need to talk about, bro. It's been a minute since we had an opportunity to chop it up, man. Look, I don't know about you, but as usual, being a black man in the United States has been hectic the past few months dealing with this COVID situation and all the other episodes and travesties that we have to deal with as black men. I don't know about you, but I got some stuff I need to talk about. How about you? You got some topics you want to talk about too?
I could think of a few.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start off with I've been dealing with this some things on Facebook, right? Where I put in, and you probably seen some of my posts because me and you are friends on Facebook, where black women always talk about they want black men to open up and speak their thoughts, right? But I found out they lying. They really don't want that. That's not really what they want. Because soon as a black man brings up his thoughts and anything that he's thinking about black women, and what he sees as a problem when dealing with black women, he get vilified. He talking down on black folks. He can't stand black women. You must not love black women. I mean, I got all this week, Reg, from some simple little things that I said, and none of them I thought were vilifying. It was simply problems that I see in the black community that black women end up causing when it comes to us interacting with one another, us solving problems with one another, us raising kids with one another. It's just so many different issues that I see, and I try to bring them up. And my Facebook posts are usually just to start people to what I call critical thinking. See, I think that's a problem that's in our black community. As black folks, we don't do a lot of critical thinking. We're reactionary type people. We lash out. We we want to cry victim a lot of times rather than just think your way out of the situation and come up with solutions that'll solve the thing for both sides that's interacting in the problem. Now I put on there, a post talking about women dating their sons, right? I see so many, and women got mad at me because I guess maybe they don't have a lot of single black women on their Facebook pages, but I do, because my Facebook page has been up for almost 10 years. And a lot of my friends, when I first started, was single black women because I was a single man at the time. So they're still friends of mine on Facebook. I didn't get rid of anybody. I didn't block anybody. I mean, hey, look, if I don't fool with you, I just don't fool with you. I ain't got to block you, But what I said was, I see so many black women calling their sons my king. And I think that's a problem when you're a single black female and you're talking about your son is your king. I see them going on outings. I see them going to movies, taking their kids to dinner. Now these are grown men they're your son, but they grown. And you taking them out on dates and they're dating. And one thing that kind of threw me off was women said, well, how can you sexualize me spending time with my son? I never said nothing about sexual. I said dating. If you spending time with your son, going out to eat, going to the movies, and doing all these other things, you out at different at the park and all that kind of stuff, isn't that dating? I mean, I'm just trying to ask, is that not dating? Reggie, am I wrong? Hey man, I welcome the comments, brother.
Well, first of all, My grandmother always told me if you throw a rock, the first one to hit a holler.
Oh yeah, I
And
mean I know that. Yeah.
I mean, I, when I seen the comment, I knew. I said, "Oh," I said, "This is going."
What's that, Reggie? Uh-oh.
So yeah, some people was gonna be pretty upset about it. I know how people think. Uh, you can't. People usually listen to answer. They don't listen to really hear what you're trying to say. I'm
Right.
saying they already got their mind made up what they're gonna say before you even finish what you're saying. So,
Well,
um,
I've come to see that as well.
so I try. All you can do is speak your point, and if someone disagree with you, they just disagree with you. All that. I don't even understand the getting upset and trying to insult you and
You saw that, right?
I
Right.
mean. I don't get that, but I guess because I'm older now, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's it. I don't know. It don't bother me, but I'll be like, man, you know what? Like, what are you, 12? I mean, that didn't bother me because you said my mama. You don't even know her. What? This is crazy because I said something that you didn't like. I mean, hey, man, it's social media. We're gonna disagree with a lot of stuff that people say, and I just you know, I've never witnessed what you say you witnessed,
Right.
but I've witnessed stuff close to it now, and I'll be like, hey man, you don't.
But this is my thing, Reggie. As a they talking about I was referring because the women, like I said, the women that I've always seen say my king, when they're referring to their son, have always been single women. And my thing is this: I mean, it's okay to treat your son and let your son, the confidence of him. He's been raised to be a king. That's
Yeah,
fine, but not my king. He's not your king. You're raising him to be somebody else's king. You see what
yeah,
I'm saying? You're not raising him to be your king. You need to raise him to be a well-mannered young man who understands what it takes to be another woman, not with you,
but what
not
happens
taking
if,
on
if another
dates.
woman? What happens if
Say
another
it
woman
again.
comes into play? I say, what happens if another woman comes into play? I mean,
Right,
what,
right.
what,
But see, what
what
I'm
happens?
saying is, when the thing that happens though in that dynamic is when you treating your son like he's your king, you don't make time for other men to step in your life and become a king in your life. Is what I was shooting at, But them women didn't want to hear that. They didn't. And they know I'm not lying. And the thing the thing that really burned me up more than anything is women talking about, I ain't never seen no woman call her son her king. Hey man, that day alone, Reggie, I had seen about 5 different posts of women talking about my king, and they were referring to their son. I started to screenshot them and put them in the comments, but I didn't feel like that would have been right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Then I really would have been wrong, they'd have said.
Oh yeah.
But
Hey,
they act like I was sitting over here making up a Hollywood what they call plot. Like I made all this up. Let me tell you something. The things that happen on my timeline and on several other timelines on Facebook, I don't have to make nothing up. All I
right.
gotta do is report on it because it's stranger than fiction anyway. But they want to tell me that I was like, well, they were coming up with comments like, well, I don't do that with my son. I do teach my son this. Well, then I ain't talking about you.
You didn't have to come in at all.
If you don't do that, you ain't have to comment. You could have scrolled on by and went on about your business. I'm
Strolled
talking
on
to the
by.
women that are doing that. You see
But
what I'm saying? But like you said, if you throw a rock, you ain't got to ask who it hit. They gonna
yeah,
holler. Yeah, and they
no.
know
Why would
that.
you?
That. Well, I don't need to downplay my relationship with my son and just so a man can come into my life. Yeah, you do sometimes. Yeah, you do. because a man ain't gonna come in there and he got to compete with a relationship with, and you got one already with your son. He don't want to be in a relationship with you and your son. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no time for him because you spending all your time with your son dating him. I'm trying to take you to the movies, but you like, no, me and my son going out to the movies tonight. Huh? That is the craziest thing ever. But they don't want to hear that though. They want men to open up and talk about the problems that they have with the dating relationship and dynamics. But then when you do, they want to vilify what you say, and you hating on black women, and you coming into question how they raising their kids, and I mean I never said none of that.
Say,
but hey, that's what I got accused of.
That's that old do I look fat in this dress?
Yeah. You better not answer that question. Do I look fat in this dress? What is the right answer to that?
Yeah. No answer.
Exactly.
Try to avoid that.
You try it if you want to. But that was just one of the craziest ones to me all week about, women do call their sons their king. I didn't make that up. That's on. I can go back through my timeline and find 4 or 5 quotes from just that day where I've seen women say that, But they swear to God, I made that up myself. I ain't got time to be making up stuff, man. I got way more other issues in my life than to be making up stuff on them.
Hey, man, I tell you, they was in their feelings. I was like, woo.
Hey, and poor little Lee Foster, I got him drug right in there too, man. They went to work on Lee too. That's one of my boys, but man, look here. Lee, you ain't gonna be able to help me all the time, man. Sometimes you gotta let me drown by myself. Yeah. I appreciate the effort, but that just give him firepower for 2 men instead of 1.
Lee, he's already not liked by the masses. You know what I'm saying? Right. So when he chime in, he's not really helping you. You know what I'm saying? He's not really helping you that he's on your side. You know what I'm saying? That's
right.
Yeah. So hey.
I mean, but like I say, he gave a valiant effort, but we both got tossed up that day. Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah, I was like, woo. I said, well, hey, man, I see it coming. I said, victim. They start calling y'all victims and everything. I was like, victims. I was like, man, I mean, it's getting vicious. I'm like, man, got to be a victim.
Right. I mean, that's just a topic that we just not gonna be able to win. But I do want to talk about another thing that's kind of similar to that, Reggie. Is I was talking with Anthony Justice, from that we went to college with. I talk to everybody during the week, but he's another, black man who's dealing with the co-parenting situation and all of that with his exes and got kids with him that are still, teenagers and kids that need to be groomed into young adults. And he talks about how his ex-wife coddles his sons. She treats them so soft. He got 2 teenage boys who want to play football, but their mama won't even let them go outside after school and get dirty. She don't want them outside dirty. And these are 14 and 16-year-old kids.
How could she stop it?
Hey man, look, she makes them stay in the house. That's how she stops them. And what I was focusing on is the fact that even when you're co-parenting as a woman, sometimes you have to get out of the way and let a man teach a young man how to be a man. You see what I'm saying? That's why these men are growing up so soft and can't handle nothing. They so fragile. Anything hurt their feelings. They emotional creatures just like their mamas are. See, a man is more rational with things. His thinking is always more rational than a female. But when you have young men who are being raised by single females that are always the emotional side is always prevalent in the house, then they tend to grab that and pick it up. And that tends to be their rationale and how they handle situations. So he was talking about how he tried to make his sons, his sons were at his house and he wanted them to go outside and cut the grass. They start crying and called their mama.
Did you say crying?
I said crying. You heard me. 2 sons, 2 boys, teenage boys, started crying and called their mama.
Oh.
What type of reaction are you supposed to have as a father when your 2 sons and you're telling? Now, first of all, you're their father. You didn't tell them to go out there and get a shovel and start digging ditches around your house. You said he had 3 lawnmowers at his house. He was gonna use one, they were gonna use the other 2, one apiece. So it wasn't gonna be like they were cutting the whole yard. First of all, let's get that part together.
Yeah.
Second, you simply asked them to come outside and help you cut the grass, and they started crying and saw fit to call their mama on you, which you are their daddy. Not only that, when they got on the phone with their mama, she called him and tried to chastise him about him trying to make them cut grass.
Oh.
Are you serious?
Oh. I don't mean to laugh, but
hey man, that is hilarious. I mean, look, not only is it's hilarious, but it's sad too, because that's the day and age, and that's how women think that they are raising and protecting some sons by not letting them be men. You know what I'm saying? You had a story that kind of touched on a similar situation to this with your, when you first got into your marriage as well. When you told me about the Trey situation.
Yeah, it ain't mama, it ain't what he said, is how he said it, you know what I'm saying? I don't I mean, to me, that's just a play on words. You really just don't like what I said, period. So what I said wasn't bad enough, so he had to change around to how I said it. You know what I'm saying? So how I said it was the problem. What I said was okay. But it's how I said it, I guess, was so aggressively disrespectful that, I don't know, man. I'm just and she would try to translate everything I would say, so I wouldn't.
I think the problem is this, and you try to instill this in a young man, that men have what they call testosterone. Testosterone is a hormone that makes you a little more aggressive, makes you a little more stern, a little more harsh with what you do. Estrogen is not supposed to be in a man. He's not supposed to conduct himself like he have an overdose of estrogen. But the way that these women are trying to raise these sons, they're injecting them with estrogen through their mannerisms. That's why you go to the store, you see these young men walking around in pants tighter than the women, outfits that are not appropriate for a man to be wearing. They walk with a little, they don't really walk, they sashay. they twisting while they walk. I was always taught as a young man, my dad used to tell me, stand up straight, put your shoulders back, and walk. That's how you walk as a man. You stand with your shoulders. You're not twisting and got your arm up like, come on, man, what is all that? What are you doing? And you see so many young men carrying themselves like that. It didn't even got to the point where Reggie, remember them little old suits that Pee Wee Herman used to wear?
Yeah.
We used to make fun of them when we was boys, right?
Yeah.
And young men. Now these women got these boys wearing these suits to the prom. What? Right. Or that's the suit they wear to church on Sunday. Are you serious? That's not how a suit's supposed to fall on a man.
Right.
But they don't see nothing wrong with that though. Oh, that's just his character. That's him being himself. No, that ain't him being himself. That's something you done groomed in him. Right. And they need to be groomed out of him with an uncle or his daddy or stepdaddy. Somebody need to be around to show him what a man's supposed to look like, how to put a belt on and wear them and not have his pants hanging up on his butt. when he's going down the street. There's no reason for me to know what color drawers you got on every day.
Yep, you're right.
I went at your house when you got dressed, so I should know what color drawers you got on. But I guarantee you walk through the store or anywhere up and down the street, you know, 30 to 40% of the guys you see on the street, young men especially, you're gonna know exactly what kind of drawers they got on. I don't need to know that as a man. Don't subject me to your foolishness. What's wrong with just putting the belt on and pull your pants up? And matter of fact, buy pants that fit you. Buy your size.
Hey, that's the
Hey, man,
problem.
let me tell you something. The craziest thing I ever seen is skinny jeans sag. Hey, bro, I don't understand that. How you got on pants that look like leotards on your legs, but they hanging under your butt? How did you even figure out what size that was? Where did you try that on? And everybody said, yeah, that's cool right there.
Yeah, hey. I don't know. Probably was at home one day, tried on his little brother pants, and hey, decided to just go, oh, I got this. Yeah, hey, it was on.
Bro, I don't even understand how. I don't understand how them pants that tight on your leg doing. You can have them under your butt. Hey. I just don't understand that. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to understand. Because it makes no sense to me. That's ignorance. And that's the thing about it is though, Reggie, and me, Lee, and Fulton, and all the fellas in our circle, we've talked about this. The thing is, if the females that they were trying to date or trying to have as a mate would simply start deterring that type of behavior, they stop doing it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, these young ladies think that look good. That's live.
Well, they're doing it themselves. I mean, so hey, I've seen ladies, these young ladies, they be having sagging their pants, and it's a thing. I guess I don't know.
Well, that's back to my point about not pretty soon we ain't gonna know who's a boy and who's a girl.
Hey.
Hey, look here. It's just getting ridiculous, bro. I don't understand it. But I mean, and it's so prevalent in our society. But if, like I said, if women, if we come out as older men and men who've done things before and try to suggest or talk to those kids or some women, first thing they holler, you don't tell my son what to do. That's how he expresses himself. Well, he's expressing himself wrong. And you should be embracing a man coming in trying to teach him how to be a man.
Right.
No, but the thing is, black women in our society don't trust the black men in the society. Because let me tell you one thing I've learned, Reggie. I have never seen a white, Asian, or Hispanic woman say these words. I don't need a man for nothing.
Huh.
See, our black women are being raised to understand that they don't need a man. And they're being raised that way where they can operate without a man. Not understanding that when a family doesn't have a man in it, it's a weaker family. You see what I'm saying? So you will never hear a white woman telling her daughter, raising her daughter saying, you don't need a man. You will never hear an Asian woman raising a young Asian woman telling her, you ain't gonna need no man. Or a Hispanic woman telling her young daughter, you ain't gonna need no man. But you hear that out of our black women when they raising their daughters. Because the thing is, we feel like, they have taught us through, as I say, systematic dissolving of the black family. They have taught, because they started giving black women more money at their jobs. They started putting them on welfare and telling them, when you got on welfare, you can't have no man in there. It's just so many ways that they broke up the black family. And once they got that started, black women kept it going.
Yeah.
Now it's on autopilot. It's just like the Willie Lynch laws. You know, they ain't got to do what they did in slavery no more. We do it to ourselves now.
Yeah.
What I need to hear some of your thoughts, Reggie, on what we just talked about.
Well, to be honest with you,
Okay.
we as a people say, man, I wish I could say something different about us, but we we can't get past ourselves for some reason. I mean, we just always seem to just want to we can't be happy for each other. You know what I'm saying?
We don't celebrate each other at all.
What you say?
I say we won't celebrate each other at all.
Oh no, it's always you know the crab in the bucket. You know, I want to make sure this brother here, you can't trust this brother to do right with you. Because look, man, I know firsthand, I try to pull people up. And then you start getting all these red flags. You want to keep helping the person, but you realize that, hey, man, if you do, it might be your downfall.
Right.
So it's hard, you know. I understand, you know, as black people, we should stick together, but man, it's hard to stick together as a black man, you know, because
Hey, man,
some of us just ain't right, you know.
like
That's
I said, this is all residual. This is all residual from the slavery time. You know,
yeah,
when you had the difference between the house nigga and the field nigga.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That was the first. That was the first way they started dividing us. See, because one thing about white society that they've always known is divide and conquer. And see, now they don't even have to divide us. We'll divide ourselves.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We won't come together on nothing. So that's where that comes. That's why we talking about the slavery residual is still there, and that's the same thing that can happen with the raising of the black men. That because society told you that you didn't need a woman. I mean, telling women that they don't need a man. Keep the black man out the house. We're gonna give you welfare. We're gonna give you food stamp. We're gonna take care of everything. Your rent gonna be $7 if he ain't there. You see what I'm saying? So.
Yep.
All of that was perpetuating the breakup of the black family. And to this day, like I said, I have never heard any other race of woman talk about or tell they female children, you don't need a man. Black women are the only ones that do that. In our black community is the only place that is sung. That is a song, brother. You hear me? And it's a hit song. It done went platinum, as they say. It went platinum in our community. You know, they talk about strong black independent women. That's cool. But independent don't necessarily mean that you got to be without a man. You don't need a man. You can be an independent woman and still have a husband and raising a whole household.
Well, you know, I think what happened was, you know, our grandparents, you know, our grandmothers, they was always about, hey man, get married, stay married, no matter what the situation is, we're gonna stay married. And they watched this generation go through a lot of stuff and put up with a lot of things that men were dishing out.
Right.
So now they decided, hey man, we don't need a man for this. You know, if I got to deal with this and I don't want to have to deal with that, I'm gonna go ahead and I will be without a man. And they might have took it a little step too far. They probably need to come back in a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Because this is a medium somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
It's
not
got to
every
be a
man is
medium
like
somewhere.
that. You know, but
I'm not
I hear my
telling no
wife talk
woman.
about it all the time. She didn't want to have a man like her daddy was to her mama. And she just really talk about it, you know, how he did this and he did that. And you know, if I do anything remotely close to what he did, boy, it was problems. I'm like, hold up, you know, it's just telling you.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Reggie. What your topic what you just said, because I also posted, because let me tell you something, all my posts ain't, you know, let me tell you what I posted as well. That as opposed to dating your son, I probably had 100 and some comments on that. But I also put a post up this week that said, women, ladies, this is what I said, ladies, if you have to do everything yourself, there's no need to have a man there. What is he around for? Is what I said, basically. I didn't get no whole lot of comments on that. You see what I'm saying? I got a whole lot of comments on something that you wanted to vilify me, but when I'm telling you that look, because some of them, I tell you, what I said was it's all right to give up on a man who ain't even trying.
Yeah.
There was another one that I put. If he ain't even trying, Reggie, it's all right to give up on him. You ain't got to stick with a brother who ain't trying. But I ain't getting a whole lot of comments on that one either.
Oh, because that was all right. You know, they was cool with that one. You know, you need to go a little bit more negative.
Yeah, and like I said, the two that I didn't get a whole lot of was, if you doing everything for yourself, why do you need a man around? I didn't get no whole lot of comments on that. I got a few, but it wasn't a whole lot. And the second thing was, huh?
That was an anthem.
And the next thing was, it's all right to give up on a brother that ain't even trying.
Right.
And I wholeheartedly believe that, because hey, let me tell you something. Like the old adage, I'm all for women when they say I could do bad all by myself. You're right, you could do bad all by yourself. And if you got to do bad and you got a man at the house, then you actually are by yourself. You might well be by yourself. See what I'm saying? What is he there for?
Yeah,
you got women sitting at a house right now, Reggie, with brothers that's there every day and won't even take the trash out. She got to take the trash out. But he at the house. He dropping her off in her car. And he going back home play PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? He drop her off in her car, then go back home and play PlayStation, or go to some other girl house in her car. Why is he even in your life? You see what I'm saying? So I know we got trash out there as young men. I know there's trash out there. You can't tell me. I worked in a barbershop for over 20 years. I cut trash hair all the time. I actually would sit there and listen to some of the conversations that these cats would have in the barbershop, and didn't understand how they made it back there every week and then get killed in the street. Because you can't be that stupid and still be making it back there every week. Hey, like I said, man, it's just so many things women talk about. They want us to open up and share our feelings and tell them what we think the problems is in the relationships and why they ain't working. But when you do that, the first thing is you hate women. You every time I look at one of your posts, you talking about what women ain't doing. Well, I was trying to help you out so that you'll start doing it, so men will start being gravitated, the right kind of man to be gravitated towards. But they don't want to hear that.
No, they want to hear what your problems are. You know, your issues. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want to hear when they say they want to hear more feelings. They don't want to hear about your issues about them. They want to hear about your issues about you. So
okay.
That's what they mean. They say
so that's the angle. That's the angle I gotta start coming at them with.
Yeah. They want to hear you go.
Let me tell you something, Reggie. I'm one of them kind of cats. I'm gonna make posts on both sides. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, my post on my page is usually to initiate critical thinking. I want us to literally sit down. I want to hear from both sides on the problem. Because when I say something about what women are doing with their sons, I expected some men to chime in on that as well, and either back that up or either be on the woman's side. I didn't care which way you go. I just want us to sit down and talk about it and think about it. Because but one thing that I did not want, Reggie, was them to act like that don't happen in our society. You know what I'm saying? They act like I made that up. I'm not. If I could make up stories like that, brother, I'd be a Hollywood writer. I'd be making stories up. I wouldn't just be reporting on what I see.
Well, we know he didn't make it up because, like I said, whoever was hurt hollered. And I seen a lot of hurt people. You know, that
Yeah,
and it was in their feelings.
and
You can't be that mad about what you said and not being in their feelings. I mean, it was just, you know, I was like, are you big man? A little mad? I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, is that the way you really feel? I mean, this is crazy.
and
I
not only
mean,
that, Red, when they did come in and I come back and come in and say, well, it sound like you answering out of your pain. Then
I seen it.
then that's
Hey,
another whole story.
hey, man,
Hey man, that
I
was a
see.
whole nother argument when I said that. I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
know.
Lord,
I say, yeah, yeah. So yeah,
that
you you have to, you know how to maneuver.
man,
That's a man. That's a minefield. It's just hard to maneuver. You know, you never know when you're gonna hit a lamb.
and, and,
Hey,
and see, my problem is this, Reggie. I think my biggest problem is I don't know how to tiptoe around issues.
yeah,
I don't really carry a bag of sugar with me so I can sugarcoat everything. I really just
yeah.
tell it how I see it and report what I see. And I really
Well,
don't know nothing else to do. And hey man, look, you either love me for it or hate me for it. That's it. And most of the time it end up being hate. And I mean, but the thing is, even if you hate it, you have to respect it because I'm telling you the truth. That's what I try not to. I try to always be truthful in what I say. You know, but hey, like I said, you can't pacify everybody emotions because they're gonna have.
no, you can't. I mean, you really can't. It is what it is. Uh, the people that didn't agree, they just got on and say, hey, I disagree. When they start trying to explain themselves about their son, I start saying, aha. Okay. Why you explaining what you do with your son? Sound like to me, you feel like you're the one he's talking about. I mean, even if you're not, you feel some type of way about it because you said, well, I'm this way with my son. And I was like, ooh, I said, man,
Hey,
he's just a cave of vipers around here.
hey, Reggie. Not only that, the thing that really fascinates me, and I always let my wife read them comments and stuff too, and she'll be like, "Well, what are they talking about?" Because what'll happen is you will say something out there, and people will give you an answer that ain't even got nothing to do with what you said or what you
Yeah.
asked them. I'm like, I don't even know where that came from. They already, like you said, they already have something in their head is what they want to say, and you gave them the slightest little opportunity to say what they've been wanting to say, and they go off on it. I'm like, what in the
Yeah.
world was that all about? What was that? That answer don't even have nothing to do with that question.
Yeah.
But hey, that's what
Yeah.
social media is all about, huh?
Oh yeah, it's easy to be tough on social media. I mean, yeah, man, ain't nobody can come through the phone or the screen, and whoop you behind. I mean, hey, I've had people threaten me on there. Yeah, man. I was like, well, hey, man, I'm glad you where you at. You're pretty tough on the other side of that screen. Uh, uh, but I'm not threatened by anything because you could be 12 years old talking about you gonna whoop my behind. Or you could
Yeah.
be 90. I would never know. You know what I'm saying? So, what I'm gonna start talking to you about. That's what
Oh
I
yeah,
do.
on that,
I don't have time to really, get mad.
right. On the Facebook
What
post,
you
you could be
say?
tough. I say on the Facebook post, you could be the
Yeah,
toughest. Yeah,
yeah,
you typing tough. It's easy to type tough, I guess. Like you say,
oh yeah, it definitely is. You know, you know,
But yeah, man,
I try to.
I really just love starting the conversations up, and just to see where our mindsets are as a people, because you never really know, what's on a person's mind or how that person is living. But I learned something a long time ago that my daddy taught me. He say, man, look, sometimes you ain't gotta say nothing. Just let the person talk. They'll tell on themselves. You ain't gotta ask them a whole lot of questions.
Yeah.
People will tell if you give them enough time and let them talk. They'll tell on themselves. They'll tell you their whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I learned that, and I see that happening all the time on Facebook. I don't really be asking for some of the information that I get, but I get it because I brought something up. And like I said, people will answer out of their pain. They will answer out of their anxiousness. They answer out of something that they've been had on their mind for the longest that they wanted to get off. And it's kind of remotely similar to what you asked or said on Facebook. They start answering and giving up all the information. And I'm like, man, I didn't even ask you that. But then they'll get there and somebody they give up all the information, and somebody somebody like Lee or somebody like that will make a comment about what they said, and that's a whole nother argument. He just got himself into something.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, that is crazy.
Yeah, it is. Hey man, social media is social media. I mean, social media is just like that. I mean, that's just the way it is. You know, people. I'm on a gaming site, PlayStation, and I asked a simple question about a game. It was a simple question. I thought it was a simple question, but I offended someone. He thought it was a stupid question, so he went in on me, and I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't no big deal to me. I guess everybody else got pissed off because he went in on me and went in on him. It was like, this is what this site is for. People ask questions. No question is too stupid or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. But, hey, what's up, Lee? And
what's happening, Lee Foster?
Yeah, people be taking things too literally on social media. It's all about having fun. You know, ease up, let your hair down. Don't believe everything you see on social media. You know what I'm saying? Everything's a front. That's what it is. You know, and don't be ready to fight somebody on social media because of something they say. You know, I've gotten into spats on social media. You know, but I try to avoid them as much as possible. But then I'd be like, okay, they waited for it. I'm just gonna give them what they're asking for. You know, I don't want to do that, but I will.
Right, exactly. We got about 10 minutes left, and our producer, Miss Queenie Daniels, says we have some comments. I want to address a couple of comments before we get off the air. Go ahead. Go ahead.
One of the comments from Twitter said, "You sound like a man that ain't got no kids, ain't never raised kids, and don't have respect for women who have done a hard job raising."
Did you hear that?
Which one? Which? Yeah, I heard that. Which one? Me?
Huh?
Who? Me or you?
I guess me. So where did I sound like I don't have no respect for a woman who's raising kids?
Again.
Where did that come from? Again. I see that rock hit somebody. Reggie, I guess I had a handful of rocks because she had a whole list.
Yeah, she did. I mean,
I don't even know what to say to that because. Okay, next comment, Reggie. We're gonna go to the next.
This is a good topic. I think that everybody has their opinion of Black households.
Right.
And your opinion is one side of it, but I enjoy this.
Well, we're glad that somebody's getting some type of enjoyment out of it. But that's really what we're just trying to have some thought-provoking topics that we bring up so that people start thinking and start, use what you want to and disregard what you want to in this situation. That's really what talk shows are about. You can't take everything that you see on The View or anywhere else for gospel because you'll ruin your own life. You have to take what adheres to your life, and what doesn't, you let it go. You got your own.
No, one more.
Okay, we'll do one more. And then I got something I want to close with in the last 5 minutes. Go ahead.
You said.
Read up. Yeah, so.
You said.
You meaning me.
Yeah,
JD said.
You said that a household without a man, a woman in a household without a man is a weak household.
It is.
How do you come to that?
Because a child needs a mother, just like a child needs a mother and a father to create them, they need a mother and a father to raise them as well. That's how I come to that conclusion. Did you hear that, Reggie?
Yeah, I heard that.
I said that a black household with just a single parent, I don't care if it's a man, just a single parent. If a household has a single parent, it's a weaker family unit than a man and a woman together. I do agree with that. Yeah. And you're not gonna make me agree with nothing else.
Me?
No, I'm just saying nobody. Huh?
Me being from a single parent household, I can attest that my household would be a whole lot better if I had a father in it too. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. I have no scientific proof, but I just think things will be better. You know, I think things are better for my kids because me and my wife are together. I don't think, you know, I mean, just again, my opinion. Not saying that you can't have a good life without both, but
I didn't say that you couldn't have a good life. I said it's a weaker.
But you know that's what that person's problem is, right?
Right. Like I said, man, look, there's no doubt that there's some great people who have come from single parent households. I never said that you couldn't come from a single parent household.
We had one that was president. We had one that was president. I mean,
exactly. But like I said, it no matter what you want to say about it, how you want to look at it, that household as a family unit is weaker without a mother and a father being in that house.
Yeah.
There's something that has lacked in that house if there has never been a father in there before.
Period. Lee made a comment. Not necessarily.
Yeah, I see his comment. You know, and you know, he's absolutely correct. I cannot, I can't argue with that. But again,
you know what?
I stay with my opinion. What?
If the man that you made them kids with ain't a good dad, then you get him a stepdad. Then go get him a stepdad. That's what you do. Yeah, you ain't gotta stay with. Look, just because you find one clown, you ain't gotta stay in that circus all your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right to get you another clown. Yeah, a better clown if you have to.
Yeah.
That's all it is to it. I'm saying there needs to be a father figure and a mother figure in that household. That's just like all mothers ain't good mothers. They just happen to have kids. Same thing. So now what? You going okay, if your wife ain't worth nothing and raising your kids, get your kids and go find them a good mother. That's what you do. You act like people don't have options. Everybody has an option.
Right, or even if that man is not a good dad, he's in the household, he might not be doing everything right. He's still there in the household. They see them as a family unit. They're learning, you know what I'm saying? You know, it might be a little dysfunctional, but you're still seeing a mother-father unit together. I mean, I don't see a problem with that, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody's perfect.
Everybody, like I say, Reggie, everybody got their different opinions, and that's fine. That's what, look, let me tell you something though. That's what that right there is what promotes critical thinking. For you to have a theory and your way of thinking, and then you go out there and test it. Go ahead.
So let me answer Lee's question, because I guess he's directing his question towards me. He says you can say that having a dad there would have made your life different. I absolutely say that it would have. I think having a man there every day, someone talking to me, guide me in the right directions. My dad was a little league football coach. I ain't learned football from him at all. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine all the stuff I probably could have learned from him with football alone. You know,
Right.
I just don't, but again, this is my opinion and this is my life. I can't, you know, talk about nobody else's life and their experiences because you know how people get in their feelings
Right.
about
Everybody's
their
experience is
life.
different.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on, Rich. We're going to hit this last topic, and I want to hear what you, because me and my wife were talking about this earlier this week, and I really just want to hear what you got to say about it, and then we'll move on. We may hit it for a couple of, because we got maybe a few more minutes, 5 more minutes or so left, and then we'll be out of here. But this is my thing. Do you see a problem with a woman proposing to a man? I want to hear your view on that.
Well, I'm a little old fashioned. Okay, I'm old fashioned. Do I see a problem with it? No, I don't. But I think the man should do the proposing. That's just me. You know, but this day and age, hey man, if you see something you want, go out and get it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's just too much going on. They got men marrying men, women marrying women. I mean, I don't know what's right no more. And it's all legal.
Rich
So,
would say, I don't know what's right no more.
so it's all legal. I mean, my first
Right.
marriage, I got proposed to, and I always thought that was a mistake. So, you know what I'm saying? Because I said no about 8 times before I said yes.
Right.
So but that's my experience.
Right.
Uh,
Reggie, I
yeah,
understand what you exactly. I look, I kind of knew what you were gonna say because you're right. It's almost to the point where things are going on. See, we have as not only we have accepted things to be the norm that traditionally were never the norm. You know that nowadays we go for anything. We can compromise anything to be right. Because it fits our situation. But let me just tell you, like you say, I'm like you. I'm old school. I believe that a man should propose to a woman. The Bible says a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. That was put in place for a reason. If the man find you, then he gonna propose to you and make you his wife. Now the thing about it is, this is my perspective on it. If a woman gotta ask a man or have to what they say, if a woman has to ask or pursue a man for him to be her man, then he really ain't that interested in you. I'm just telling you that. Plain and simple. And if a man ain't really interested in something, he's not gonna stick and stay. He'll change his mind just like the wind changes. See, because when you are committed to something, you stick and you stay. And if you had to pursue something that you wanted and you got it and you secured it, then you're gonna have more of a commitment to it than you would if that thing came to you and asked you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's just my thinking personally. I could be dead wrong, but I doubt it.
Well,
but the thing is, I am more of a traditional type setting, like you said, and the Bible says certain things. And it may, like my wife said, back then they didn't have marriages. If you slept with a woman, that was your wife.
Yeah.
That's how it was in the Bible. But the thing, like you said, traditions has changed so much that you almost be confused as to what's right and what's wrong. But I am never going to change my mind of the fact that a man should pursue the woman, make a commitment to her, then ask her to marry him, not her asking him to marry her. I'm sorry, that's just me. And if that upsets some people, I don't care.
I'm with you on that, and we probably have offended somebody. I mean, I figure you ain't doing something right unless you offend somebody anyway. Because I mean,
right.
No matter what you do, I mean, I was telling my wife the other day about how things are getting so sensitive. You can't say certain things, especially as a comedian. You got to watch what you say. People, you know what I'm saying? Man, just get over it, man. It is what it is. It was, the times where Archie Bunker was funny to me. I mean, it was straight up. You knew what it was. It's in your face, you know.
Right. Now you're going back to what I said.
Yeah.
Now you're going back to what I was talking about. These kids have been raised to be soft.
Yeah.
They're very, very sensitive. I mean, they crumble under any type of pressure.
Yeah.
That's just what happened.
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
Well, they're gonna be running the country.
You got any closing thoughts that you want to talk about? Any just touch on one of the subjects that we touched on and give a closing thought on it right fast?
Well, again, man, this thing about us as a black people, we need to stick together, and it's really man, it's just so hard for us to do it because we don't have that trust with each other. We'll always save ourselves to we'll turn somebody in to save ourselves just to get on top, and that's just not cool. I don't know how we get out of that. I'm just praying that one day we all come together as a people and realize how strong we really are.
Well, let me explain. I love what you just said about us coming together as a people. But the thing about it is, there's two things in our community that we lack that kind of keeps us from coming together. First thing is, nobody gives a damn about integrity anymore. Nobody cares about that. We do whatever we want to when we want to, whatever suits our situation at that time. Integrity ain't nothing but doing the right thing even when ain't nobody watching. See what I'm saying? We don't teach that to our generations no more. And another thing that's missing is discipline. Discipline is being able to keep doing what you're committed to. That requires discipline. Stick through it and follow it to the end. We have been taught, teaching our youngsters that it's okay to start this, stop that, and start something else. If you get into a thing and you gonna be committed to it, you have to have discipline to stay committed. And we don't teach that anymore. We don't teach the discipline, and we don't teach integrity. And until we get those things back in our black community, we're gonna forever be having conversations like the ones we had today, Rich.
Yeah.
So I just hope that we can get those things together and people start thinking about and making a conscious effort to put those back in your household. So again, this has been JD's Man Cave, and Big Reggie, go ahead and sign off.
Yeah, this is Big Reggie coming from the north side. Hopefully, again, I'll see you again next week. Go ahead, JD.
Exactly. Next week, 7 o'clock, maybe we'll be right back here again with some more topics. If you feel like you have a topic that you want me to address during the show, feel free during the week to hit me on Facebook, in my DM or Messenger or Instagram Messenger, either one, and we'll get those topics talked about on this show next Saturday at 7 o'clock. This has been JD of JD's Man Cave. I appreciate y'all watching, and I hope you got something out of the program today. And we'll see y'all next time. Thank you, Big Reg, for joining me, brother.
Hey, this is JD of JD's Man Cave, coming at you again tonight on a big old Saturday night.